music is one of the very, very few spaces in America where we can have people that legitimately are standing next to each other that might have completely different political ideologies. Between music and sports, that's really some of the only public spaces that we can bring people in. So tempting as it may be for me to go up there and scream "fuck Trump" and make it this very divisive space, I'm really trying to focus on youth empowerment and focus on like connectivity and optimism. If we empower young people to take action, the world will inevitably move into a more progressive space. So I'm trying to just keep it positive and just provide rock and roll and be one less thing that makes y'all angry and terrified on your fucking timeline. To the slaughter, what you gonna do when there's blood in the water, the price of your name it. I mean, right now we have a partisan sexual predator in the Supreme Court. We have it feels like every single day you turn on the news and you have another reason to get frustrated. And sometimes it'll be about what's going on, the issue of the day. But so much more of the time it has to do with the apathy or the enabling environment around these short-sighted, corrupt predators, politicians, judges, whatever it is. I think the modern tragedy has to do with the way that we feed into fear, the way that we have disenfranchised people and stripped them of their sense of agency in their life. Being able to go on tour and you go to cities that have been ravaged by the opioid epidemic, you go to places where people that think like us, who believe in an inclusive, progressive America, just do not have a voice. They don't even have a seat at the table. And so I do feel incredibly privileged to be a white dude that got post-secondary education, making music, standing in front of hundreds of people, and we all have to ask ourselves what you want to do when you're the one with the microphone. So that modern tragedy takes on a lot of shapes and forms. And I think that with the No Apologies tour, the big thing for me was not to come with any answers, and not to come into these communities and tell you, here, I have the answers for what you should do about it, but rather just listen, enable local community leaders and civic organizers to take the forefront and really just provide a cathartic space for you to have your own revolution, for you to join the mosh pit, sing along, and feel a sense of unity and togetherness. That's what it's all about. The modern tragedy is that my fucking cat's not here right now. Got a gray stripy cat. I think it's funny, and I legitimately don't know. If I had a dog, I would be like breaking down his like 23andMe DNA testing of like, he's like a half Burmese mixed with a thing. My cat's just like a gray, cute, stripy cat, and he's chill as fuck. And it's funny, like I can leave for tour for 2 months, and I came back last night, and he just looked at me and just gave me like a little like, there's a little nod, gave him a nod, gave him some food, snuggled a little bit, let him outside to roam. That's how it is. That's real love, you know? I love Andy enough that I can let him go. You know, that's hard. That's hard stuff. I'm still working on love, you know, but me and that cat are as far along as I've got. You know, I wrote a song about this very topic, a song called Is This What You Wanted? And ultimately, I think I used to get really indignated and whatever, but the reality is people are entitled to their opinions. I don't think it's my responsibility to try to change people's opinion. If you want to use music as a vehicle to escape the bullshit that you're facing in your regular life, who am I to tell you not to? I think I would rather just speak directly to artists. And in 2019, where entertainment and journalism are one and the same thing, where it's more important to be first than to be right, you got to ask yourself, if you're trying to be in the public eye or if you have some sort of platform already, what are you going to do with this space? I think in 2019 and beyond, I think that your silence and your apathy, contrary to what you might think, is actually speaking just as loud as if you were vocal with your opinion. By keeping your mouth shut right now, you're basically saying that unless it affects you directly, you don't give a fuck. So to those random people in my Instagram DMs telling me to shut up, like, I actually am not going to give them my time because I'm too busy trying to make this space for one kid that needs to hear it, and trying to engage in conversations with other artists, showing them It's not that scary. Come, have an opinion, allow people to think critically about what you have to say. It's a far more fulfilling and purposeful endeavor, at least on my end, and who gives a fuck otherwise. Dude. Marry, love, fuck, peace. What was the other one? Chuck, I gotta kill music? I can't do that. I guess I can. I can, because I want peace. But you gotta marry love. You can't fuck love, you know? That's just gonna leave you with a hole in your heart. Yeah, I gotta kill music. But I'm killing music anyway, so that's how it goes. No, I don't think so. Maybe. I think that punk, there's lots of... the conversation of is rock and roll, is punk dead? I think is your conception of rock dead, is punk dead? Like, is the fact that young people don't fuck with rock or punk the way that they did 20 years ago, is that indicative of the fact it's dead? I think ultimately what punk and what rock and roll really are an attitude. It's a feeling, it's a sense of rebellion, and I think that those themes and messages are still relevant today, and whether or not it's packaged with a trap beat or a guitar riff, I think punk is alive. And if you have any questions on whether or not rock and roll or punk are alive in 2019, then get yourself a fucking ticket for the No Apologies tour. Come watch the kids rock out and decide for yourself, because my experience playing this thing has been nothing short of like an overwhelming sense of optimism for the future of progressivism and rock and roll here in America. Still trying to navigate what it is I'm trying to say directly to you. But I guess one of the big themes that's come up on the No Apologies tour is, I think in 2019, I think in this social media era, I think that there's a lot of pressure on young people as much as ever before to be presenting a finished product of their life. And I think it's a really toxic mentality. I know that it's very true for me as an artist, and a lot of the artists that I speak to, that we too feel that we are supposed to have it all figured out already. I guess what I would offer as any sort of advice is that if you're doing the work to find what you care about and what's fulfilling for you, if you're doing the work to engage in your personal life, in your communities, through activism or through whatever the fuck, and basically saying, I care enough about living a full life that I'm not gonna settle, then you should just be proud of yourself, point blank. Don't be so focused on getting where you're going. Allow yourself to enjoy this moment, and we're gonna die. We're all gonna be dead. It's happening, like sooner than we all would like to think about it. So what are you gonna do at this time? Just keep going and don't be so fucking hard on yourself, and don't get high in the morning. That's it. Okay. What's going on? This is Grandson. Thanks for checking out my quick 6.